Okay, everybody, my slogan is if you're coming to your charts and you don't know exactly what you're looking for, that is simply gambling. You need to know exactly what you're looking for by the time you come to your charts. So today I want us to look at some beautiful trades that actually happened this week. This was one of the best weeks by far, and I'm going to explain a lot of things. I believe it's going to be an eye-opener. And guys, it's Christmas. I believe next year you're going to come very strong, okay? So guys, look at this. Look at this. You already know that I've started sharing two different strategies, one for currencies, crypto, and metals, because I know that most people are not able to actually trade indices, more especially in USA. And again, most people have been sending me emails that they are not comfortable with indices. Okay, so yes, this is the explosive one for indices, and this is the one for trend following. Okay, this one works for currencies, crypto, and metals. This one works for indices. I use it for the Dow, for the Nas, and for S&P. Okay, so right now I want to start with this one because in yesterday's video I started with this one. However, they all deliver almost every day. Okay, so guys, look at this. Look at this. This is the most explosive one for indices. Okay, and we have steps. Hence why I always say, if you're coming to your charts and you don't know exactly what you're looking for, it's simply gambling. Okay, because we have steps that we are actually going to follow. This helps us sit on our hands. Okay, so let's go to the first step. Okay, I want us to be actually looking at this one. Okay, this one actually says come to the session few minutes before the New York session. Okay, so the New York session starts at 9:30 a.m. New York time. Okay, this is New York time. You can convert this to your own time zones. Okay, so this means you're gonna come few minutes before the session opens. Preferably for me, it's 5 to 10 minutes before the session opens. Okay, what do you do when you come to your charts at this time? The first thing you ask yourself is, what type of trend do you see? This is important. Why? Because if you see a different kind of trend, then your execution is actually going to be based on what? On the trend that you see. Okay, because in this book I've shared with you 3 different types of trends. Under these trends, there are different kind of trends inside, and I told you, if you see a specific trend, execute it based on what is written on this playbook. Okay, if you see a creeping trend, there are different kind of creeping trends. You have simple strategies to follow for trends, and if you see an explosive trend, you have simple strategies to follow for this particular type of trend. If you see a normal one, you have strategies outlined to follow for this particular trend. And this is highly important. Why? Because if you identify a trend, you can't, guys, honestly come and start following these steps over here. Why? Because I told you, if you are in a trend, some days you're not going to be in a trend, some days they're going to give a trend. If you find that you have been given a trend, then follow what is outlined under this section over here. Okay, it's highly important. I can never emphasize the importance of this enough. But if there is no trend, then you proceed with this one. This one is outlined in green. Why? Because you can proceed even if this one is not there. Okay, but these red ones, you cannot go to the next unless the previous one is met. This is to say, this is a prerequisite for this one, and this is a prerequisite for this one, and so on. Okay, so guys, when we came on Wednesday, I want to outline something or show something that happened on Wednesday. Okay, it was under the Nas. Okay, what type of trend do you see for the Nas? Okay, at this point here, there is no trend that you see, because mostly before the session begins, you will realize that the kind of trend that you will see is actually you'll see mostly the explosive trend before the session begins. Okay, and some days you'll see the creeping trend, but the creeping trend in most cases will complete inside the session. So on Wednesday we got a creeping one. Okay, we got a creeping one. Okay, and I've showed you all the steps to follow under the creeping one. So let's go back. Okay, if you come here, you will realize that it's a creeping. How or why am I saying it's a creeping? Okay, I told you, for a creeping, prices have to fall, and the fall must be quick, and then they have to creep into the opposite way. Okay, however, the creep must last longer. So if we are taking from where the move began, you see it fell almost 150 points. Okay, in 69 minutes, you can see the time as I'm hovering over, because the first two digits are actually the number of bars, and this is a 1 minute time frame. And if you count the number of bars, you can see it's 68, right? Yes, that is true. Okay, so this one fell using 68 minutes. Okay, and then it creeped all the way back to the top. Okay, look at the creeping now. The creeping is actually 94 minutes. Okay, so how do you know it's creeping? You can see they are not really going anywhere. They're just pulling all the way up, creeping. A creep is like this short, many short trends, many high lows, but they do not take the high out. Okay, so this is where the move began. Okay, but look at this, because this is where it just dropped vertically. Okay, but look at this. They never took this level out, and they took more time actually going back. So this is a creeping. I have outlined all these different types of trends for you. Okay, if I bring in, like, okay, let's just bring in this line over here, you'll see this is simply a creep. They are not literally going anywhere. Okay, they are moving very slow, making higher highs very slowly. Okay, this is a creeping trend. And if you go to the playbook, I gave you example, and I even gave you simple steps for entry. Okay, I told you that at some point, what are they gonna do? You can see here, this is where they break this level. Okay, they break this level. First of all, before they even break this level, you see they come down here, they made a low. Okay, let me just change this color to something visible that everybody will be able to visualize. Okay, you see now they made this low, they went back and they collapsed. I told you, if they make it low, they have to leave it and come back to it. So in this case here, they came back to it with a pin. Okay, they came back to it with a pin. Okay, so I took the close of this pin. Guys, I showed you the entries of this thing. Okay, I showed you the entries, and it's the same thing every time, because when they gave this creeping trend, I knew what to expect. I knew what to actually anticipate. Okay, so I took this one over here, and I had 25. Okay, my 25 was here. Okay, my 25 was here. Okay, this is where the 25 was. Okay, so yes, they creeped, went down, came to the closing price, and then yes, they came back, retested, and kept playing. And then for me came and they exploded. This was a huge explode. Okay, this is where you can make 1:20, 1:30. This is where your account can be super big. Okay, this is something I don't enter right before the news, but this was something I already had. Okay, this was something I already had, and I knew that this risk is something I'm comfortable with, so I was willing to just hold it. If they close me, they close me, and I knew there was forming late, but they gave a setup already. And guys, this is powerful. Why? Because they are not taking out this level here. They want everybody to think that, oh, they've changed direction. In this case here, people start going long. Okay, so you can see this is a creeping, and I've just alluded this, that under creeping there are many different kinds of trends here. Okay, many different kinds of trends here. Okay, so I told you guys, if you come and you find out that you are in a trend, okay, yes, of course, sometimes the creeping, you only realize it once the session is started, but it's so easy if you actually went through it, practiced it, back tested it. Okay, because I gave you the illustrations, I gave you text, I told you where to enter, I even showed you the exact points where to enter. Okay, and it happens like that every single time. Okay, every single time. So on Wednesday they gave a beautiful opportunity. Okay, but let's come to today, because on this day I did nothing. Okay, so let's come to today. Okay, let's come to today. Okay, today was a little bit interesting. Okay, today we didn't get any form of a trend. Okay, because that's the first thing we ask ourselves. You see, it just went down. There was no form of a trend in this case here. Okay, and then I told you we don't do anything until the session opens. So we're gonna go back to our book here. Okay, we identified trap volume before the session. Let's look at who is trapped before the session, but there is none. Why? Because they just started going down. You can see they just started trending, and when the session opened, we were in the middle. I told you that if the session is opening, because we are coming 5 to 10 minutes before the session starts, okay? And that's when we do our analysis. So you can see they just started trending, and when the session is opening, there are people here up above us, okay? And there are people below us, so we don't know which ones of these are trapped, okay? So what do? We continue, okay? We continue. Hence I marked it with what? Hence I marked it with green, because some days you won't be able to see that, okay? What do you do if you don't see that? Okay, fine, you proceed, you go to the next step. This is to wait for the session to open. This is not rocket science at all. You just wait for prices to open, okay? And then we go to the next step over here. What is it? Identify trap volume during the session. This is so simple. You identify those who are trapped during the session. How do you identify this? By a chart pattern, okay? Chart pattern. Okay, it doesn't matter what kind of chart pattern they give you. 90% or 95% for me, it's actually triangles. I told you this and I keep telling you this, okay? Okay, it's triangles. This is a pattern. Why do I say these guys are trapped? Because guys, you can see in here, that's where they are playing. That's where they're sending people up and down, and they are gonna evaluate which direction they want to take, okay? This is where we get confused. They can go up or they can actually go down, okay? So that's where we know that now people are trapped, because for me, for this explosive one, if they haven't trapped anyone, we don't know what's going to happen, okay? So that's a disaster for us. I want something where I know. I told you, if you are coming to your charts and you don't know exactly what you're looking for, you're gambling. So for me, I want to first know what is actually happening. I want to first know who is trapped, and then when I know who is trapped, that's when I have the edge, okay? That's when I have the advantage on my side, okay? So if we are actually to come over here, okay, so when we come now, what do we see here? What do we see? Okay, first of all, you can see that here they just started doing this, okay? And then prices went up. At this point here, you don't know exactly what is happening, okay? You don't know exactly what is happening. And let me just zoom this a little bit so that everything can be visible, okay? At this point here, we didn't have anything, but guys, look at this. At this point here, that's when we had something, okay? At this point here, that's when we had something, okay? So it's not a matter of being worried because they have moved all this distance. No, it doesn't matter, okay? We need something where we have an edge. And when you look at this, this is, oh, sorry guys, let's go back, okay? When we are to come back, you will realize that we have this is the part that we wait for, okay, which is evidence. You know that everything in life is based on evidence, okay? So what is evidence? Okay, this is evidence. I explain this every time. If this is okay, this is a bad one, okay? I don't want to give something that is not understandable. Okay, let me come here. Where? Okay, let me come here. When we talk about evidence, guys, we are talking about something like this, okay? If I say, unfortunately, I don't even know why this thing is not growing, okay? Okay, if, okay, if I say that 90% for me is triangles, right? What does that mean? That means, okay, let me change the color, okay? That means if this is a triangle, inside here, like this, I don't know what's happening. I don't know which directions they're going to take, right? So what I want to see is maybe something like this. And this is my evidence, okay? This breakout one must be the biggest one, okay? It must be the most biggest candle, okay? So when I get something like that, that's when I know what is actually happening, okay? But that's not all. Remember, that is just a smaller time frame, which is a 1 minute one. So what do we need for this? We need extra rules to make things very, very strict for ourselves so that we can really stick to our plan, okay? So that we can sit down on our hands, because at the end of the day, sitting down on our hands is the most important thing, okay? So what do we do? We wait for the right time. We wait for the right time to actually execute, okay? Sorry for that. We wait for the right time to actually execute, okay? So these are the times I have shared with you. I'm only going to take it from 50 to 10 past because I need the evidence that actually, we are talking about the evidence here, okay? Okay, this is the evidence. I want the evidence that happens as close as possible to the clock, or as close as possible to the half-hour mark. So I'm only willing to take it from here to here. Okay, it could be 10 to 10 past, or from 20 past to 22. Okay, but most preferably I will want it to be as close as possible, maybe 5 minutes before or exactly here. Okay, so the closer it is to these times over here, the more reliable it is. So if it happens at quarter to, I'm not gonna take it. If it happens at quarter past, I am not gonna take it. And what do I mean? I mean, already we have this, right? We have the pattern, and this is the evidence. It's the biggest candle that breaks out. This candle must happen at a specific time. Okay, and this is what saves us. Okay, so let's go and look at the time. Okay, let's go and look at the time. If you look at the time here, the time here is actually 2 pause, and when we go back to our times, you can see it's as close as possible to this here. So guys, look at this. Now everything is fully met. Okay, all our rules are fully met. Okay, so you can take this one. This thing is exploding. I told you, for my target I use I actually try to see how big that move is. Okay, so this one was exploding. Okay, and the move was so big. Okay, just look, it went beyond 240, beyond 240. Okay, very, very, very quick. Okay, and if you're holding to the close right now, you have 130, and I believe markets have closed. Okay, but guys, you see, if you were on your charts, you had a very big move. Okay, a very big move. So based on the explosive, this is the perfect one. You are not trying to force things or to be impatient on things you don't understand. You don't understand this, you can't force this into a pattern, right? You can't force this into a pattern. Okay, let's go to this one here, which is the Dow. Okay, okay, the Dow. So I showed you two things. I just showed you two things. I showed you an instance where we had a trend and an instance where we did not have a trend. I showed you these two things. Okay, yes guys, for the creeping trend, mostly it will complete if you see a big move up or down before the session. Okay, you can actually look out for a creeping. If it's given, it's given. If it's not given, then you'll apply the rules. So I showed you in a case where they gave it and in a case where they did not give it. Let's go to Dow again. Today was so easy, guys. Okay, if we are to look, we don't have any form of a trend, right? Yes, because prices are opening in the middle. Okay, prices are opening in the middle. Okay, yes, of course there are people down, but we can't say they're trap. Why? Because prices are in the middle. That people went up here, and most people don't even use stops. So the people who bought here are actually losing, and the people who sold here are actually losing. Okay, they are actually losing. And of course guys, I got a comment from somebody who said the indicators are not working. Tomorrow I'll try to make a video about installing them. Okay, so look at this guys. We wait for the session to open, and then when the session opens, we need to see a pattern. Okay, let's start here. Let's go back. Okay, we identified there was none. Okay, we waited for it to open. Now we need what? A pattern. Okay, and guys, I've shared all the possible patterns that they will give you. If you do a simple Google search, you'll still find patterns. And again guys, I shared all the patterns you need. This book has everything step by step outlined. Okay, step by step. Okay, and it's in the description. And when you get it, actually you get 2 books here. I'm gonna upload 2 other following ones soon. So you get a strategy for currencies, and then you get one for indices. And under indices, it's many different strategies. Here it's 2 different strategies. Okay, and I'm still gonna add more, and it's a lifetime update, but you have these things. Okay, most of you already have this one. So guys, just try after the holidays, try to master everything. Okay, try to master everything. Now it's the holidays, but I'm still recording, so you can also put in the work. Okay, so I shared all the patterns you need again in this book. Okay, so guys, look at this. Now we need a pattern. Let's go to this one. Okay, the Dow, and see if we have a pattern. Oh, okay, I told you to identify patterns, you just need to find points where they are repeating over and over again. You have a beautiful pattern here. Okay, you have a beautiful pattern over here. Okay, and let's go further. Yes, of course, we use this tick box to actually decide on the trade. So here we have a triangle, right? triangle. We want to see, is it perfect? For it to be perfect, I need 3 touches down and 3 touches up. So let's go back again. 1 touch down, 1 touch up, 2 touch down, almost 2 touch up, 3 touch down and 3 touch up, 4 touch down. So guys, we already have 3 touches on both sides. So yes, it is perfect. How much time did it take? Why do we take the time into consideration? Because guys, if it takes more than 1 hour, obviously mostly you can target 100. But again, there are other methods I shared with you that actually helps you with the target, because sometimes you are able to take 1:15, 1:20, okay, depending on the day. Okay, I also use the size of the pattern. I also use the volatility of the day. Before the session, did we have big moves? If you have a move of maybe 300 points before the session begins, guys, that tells you that you can even target more than that, because some days these things can go 1,000 points. Sometimes they can go 1,500 points. Okay, so these are the things you need to know, and I've shared already everything with you. Okay, and most of the things, guys, as I'm saying, I've already shared with you. So okay, let's look at the pattern. How long did it take to build the pattern? Okay, this one was a little bit short, 40 minutes if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it's 40 minutes. Okay, but looking at the volatility, this thing has already gone many points. This thing has, just before the session begins, it has gone 200, and we don't expect such huge volatility. This tells you that the move coming is so big. Okay, yes, the pattern was short. Okay, the pattern was short, but volatility. So in this case, we apply volatility. Okay, I shared these things with you guys. Honestly, I shared these things with you. I shared with you 3 different ways of actually targeting. So I believe by now you already know that. Now we are coming to the evidence. Okay, do we have an evidence candle? Okay, the evidence candle is the biggest candle that breaks out. In this case, you can see this is a very big candle. Okay, and as I say, the evidence must be the biggest candle from the last touch. Okay, this is the last touch. So this is the breakout candle. Okay, it is the very big candle, because if you see, it's roughly 55 points. Okay, it is a very big candle. Today's move was so crazy. You just see like they are small candles. These are very huge candles. Okay, so guys, yes, we had an evidence candle. Okay, so here's the most important thing. We look at the time. I've just actually outlined the times here with you. Okay, we are only gonna take within this times and within this time. So let's go back and see if the time is perfect. So the time here was actually 12 past. So what do? I advise that you skip it until you have back tested many years, because guys, you're gonna actually become better with back testing. So guys, I really plead with you, if you ever find yourself free, maybe during the holidays or after the holidays, I have backtesting tools in my description. They are free. Okay, they are free. There's one paid, there's one free. Okay, you can get the free one and start backtesting. Okay, so I actually advise to pass this one if you don't have experience. But if you have experience already, you have seen different these kind of things, and this is my A+ setup. Why? Because it's happening at the levels. I told you, when something happens at the levels, it becomes my A+ setup. And just look, it's happening on the low of yesterday and at the closing price of yesterday. So this for me is an A+ setup, but I will advise those who don't have experience to actually skip it. So what do you do if you skipped it? If you skipped it, you just wait patiently, because at some point they might actually retest. So you see here, there's where they give you a wedge, and then again, this is a pattern. Okay, it's a continuation pattern, but guys, they could have broken down and went down, so we still have to wait for the evidence. This is the biggest candle, as you can see. It's 30 something actually. Okay, 30 something points. So let's look at the time of this candle. This candle actually happens at 2 past. So if, of course, the first one didn't happen at the correct time. Okay, so if you skip this one, it's okay, you can take this one. This one now happens at the correct time, because 2 past, if we go back to our watch, 2 past is just somewhere here. Okay, so this qualified, it met all our criteria. So this one was met. So guys, you already know that our stop is 25 points. Okay, so it doesn't matter if the evidence is 35, we keep our stops 25. Why? Because our minimum target is 50, and if you are risking 25 to make 50, that is 1:2, and this is the smallest risk to reward that we are willing to take. Okay, so guys, I believe this is so easy. Okay, let's go to the last one. So you see, this one is something you couldn't have missed. You see, it went 400. If you are still holding to the close, now you are on 200. I believe you, okay, now prices have closed already, but if you closed early, maybe you took 300. If you closed if you were in front of your chart, obviously you saw them coming and retesting and making a low, maybe you closed. So this is up to you and how you decide to manage it. But just look, 300, okay, 300. On the NAS it went roughly to something. This one went 3. Let's go to the Dow. I love the Dow a lot, okay? I really love the Dow. I really love the S&P, okay? I love it so much. So let's come to S&P again, applying the same rules, guys, applying the same rules. Do we have a trend? No. Session is opening in the middle, so that we don't have a trend. And who is trapped? Okay, who is trapped? Nobody's trapped because the session is actually opening way in the middle. Okay, guys, I'm actually rushing time because I still have something more to share with you, but you can see and you can actually look at this on your charts again. Okay, so guys, let's see. Do we have a pattern? Okay, this one we had something like this, of course. Okay, we had something like this, okay, of which 1 1 2 2. This is a touch. You know how I count my touches. And then, okay, this is where they touched, they went up, they came down. So we have 3 touches, 1 here, or we can count it from here. Okay, 1 here, 1 here, 2 here, it goes up 2, 3, okay, 3. So we have three touches on either side, okay? And that's when they break out with a beautiful evidence candle here, okay? So this one, you see, yes, they gave a very beautiful evidence candle, because you can see they started by going down, and from here I told you, if they start by going down now, we are counting from the last touch, which is now this one. Guys, if you have been following the strategy, you already know this, okay? You already know this, but I shared everything, even in the format of PDF. You have everything, guys, okay? So look at this. This is a beautiful evidence candle, okay? However, still, guys, it doesn't matter if you doubted this one and the pattern wasn't good, because again, guys, for you to be good, you need to put in the work, okay? You need to practice. Practice makes perfect, okay? You need to practice, okay? Okay, nobody can become good in maths if they don't practice. Nobody can become good in science if they don't practice, okay? So look at this here. This is another one. Let's look at the times. This time was what? 23. 23 is the most perfect time, because you can see, guys, based on our times, 23 is somewhere here. So it qualifies. It's a very beautiful one, okay? And what time did this one happen? At 2 past. You can see both this ones happened at the most perfect time, okay? And guys, this one, you know, this one is going to be crazy. It's going to be double. I always tell you guys, if it's S&P, double your target. If on the other one you're targeting 300, this one you can target 6, because it's all double volatile. So this is 1,000 points in a day. 1,000 points in a day. Just look at this, guys. If you took it from here, this is 700 points in a day. If you're holding till the close, obviously you have been kicked out. If you took it here, it was good, okay? If you targeted whatever target you targeted, it was still good, okay? If you targeted 500, you got it. So guys, this is amazing. This is amazing. But I want to show you something here. Okay? Let me show you something before we even proceed. So guys, you see, with the most explosive, everything has been met over here, okay? And again, if you follow these criteria, they are all met. I just don't want to go through each of these criteria, because each of this tick box, because guys, you have this and already you can do it on yourselves, okay? But all these criteria have been fully met. But I said I want to share you something, and this is the strategy, guys. You have this PDF, okay? You have this book. I know most of you already have it. This happens almost every time, and when it does, it pays huge. So this is a 53 page. It has all these things step by step. I've given you everything in a PDF. Just master it, please, guys. You already have this. Make sure you master it, because guys, most of you are actually struggling, but you already have these things. All you need is to actually backtest and work on your psychology, okay? Because these things will keep on happening, and it's the same thing every time it happens, okay? So please master the trends. It's very important. It's 3 types of trend, but there are different types of trend. Like for example, we have 2 different types of explosive trends. We have many normal trends, and we have many creeping trends, but most of the time you're gonna get these 2 different kind of trends. So this book has many different strategies in itself. You just have to master it step by step, and then apply everything I gave to you. Okay, I have it in the description if you need it. Okay, that's why I told you you get 2 PDFs, and I just showed you it is 2 PDF, 1, 2, and I'm still gonna add 2 soon. Okay, so guys, what I wanted to show you now is actually this is not a surprise. Okay, let's go to an hourly time frame. I'm sorry guys, if I come to an hourly time frame, you can see we had fed. Okay, we had fed. Okay, this applies for all of these things because they gave the same kind of thing. We have fed over here, right? Okay, that's true, we have fed. I want to show you something. And what did Fed do? Fed cut rates. They cut 25 basis point now in December. What happened when they cut rates? Prices went down. What do rates actually do when they cut interest rate? I told you I've been doing a lot of fundamentals, and guys, for me, I told you that I'm dealing with fundamentals, but guys, I will share it when I see a lot of consistency on it, because I don't want to share something until I see consistency. And for me, it's very easy to actually learn these things because I use prop firms to practice. Okay, so even if I can lose a prop firm account when I'm actually practicing a new strategy, I don't mind. I just want it to be so real. You can't keep practicing on a demo. And whilst we are staying, say that if you are actually doing your own account and you have a small account, you can go to the Fivers. I have a link in the description. It's one of the prop firms with the cheapest challenges. Okay, so that's something you can actually do. Okay, that's something you can actually do because it's so affordable. Because as you can see guys, their challenges are very affordable. Okay, a 5K account actually starts at $39. Okay, so instead of depositing $39, you can just buy a 5K account and take the smallest lot size. Say for instance, if you are still new, take 0.01. Okay, I have the link in the description to this prop firm. Okay, it is one of the most cheapest and it is one of the best. I trust it. It has existed since 2016, so they have been around for a long time and they are actually good. So guys, if you look at this honestly, you will see that if you have $39 in, you can practice as much as you want, because some people believe in practicing with demo, but the problem with demo is there is no emotions attached. Okay, and it's very hard for you to gain value if there are no emotions attached. And by the way, you're not going to make it in the first 3 months. Okay, it's going to take you time, because what you see on Instagram is a lie. This takes time. That's why I actually gave you backtesting tools in the description. Why? So that you can backtest many years. The only way to learn more is by backtesting many years. And guys, you can backtest many years, and that is going to help you. Okay, and for front testing, you can use a prop firm account like this one. If you buy with $39, it's close to nothing. You get a $5,000 account, and that's where you can practice. Even for me, when I'm actually learning something, I use a prop firm challenge. Why? Because if it's something new, I've never done it, obviously I'm gonna make mistakes. So even if I blow a prop firm account, I don't have a problem. Why? Because that's where I was practicing the strategy, and I don't share anything until I see consistency on it. Okay, I've been telling you this for almost a year, that I am actually doing a lot of fundamentals. Yes, I am doing a lot of fundamentals and execution based on fundamentals. Okay, but I am actually quite about it because I want to start seeing consistency. So, okay guys, so practicing with the prop firm gives you the advantage, because even if you lose it, you still have you haven't lost much. You only lost $39. Okay, and to lose this account can take you 2 months if you are taking 1 execution or 2 executions per day with the smaller size. That's what I advise. If you really want to learn something, use prop firms rather than a demo account, because on a prop firm, guys, you're really gonna learn. If you pass it, you're gonna get paid. So there is emotions attached. Okay, demo has 0 emotions. They don't even have spreads. Okay, yes, this one, the spreads are very low. You don't even see the spread. This is one of the best prop firms in the world. Okay, and they are cheap. So if you're learning, I always advise taking the smaller size. If you are a pro, you can go with a big size. Okay, but yes, it's 100,000 account. It's $495. Okay, so guys, this is actually up to you. Okay, this is 100% up to you. Okay guys, I think we can actually go to now we can actually go to the second method. Okay, we are done with this one because you saw this. Okay, so we did actually talk about this one, but one thing I want you to take away is evidence candle at the correct time. So now on this second one, guys, this is important. Now this is one where you follow the trend. On this one, we don't care about directional bias, because at the end of the day, we're not going to use directional bias for indices. Why? Because guys, it's very important to execute what you see, okay? Because sometimes you can have a directional bias, and if it fails, you end up forcing it. That's what happens to most people, okay? But well, with this one, without having a directional bias, it becomes much more easy, because you know exactly what to wait for. But this one is trend following, and if you are going to follow a trend, you need a directional bias. You cannot follow a trend unless there is a directional bias. However, everything I do is based on step by step, okay? So here, step one, we need a direction, okay? So guys, some days are just like this. You find that the whole week they're doing this. These people are not moving, okay? So you can't say you have a direction if they are doing something like that, okay? So you need to have maybe a day where they do something and then they really go. Maybe they come and close somewhere here, okay? You can see, okay, maybe this is the previous day's high, so they violated this day here. So you need a day that's actually really trending, okay? I'm not gonna give you the size because it can vary. It can be a small trending day or whatsoever, but you need a day that's trending. Why? Because guys, remember, big moves are gonna come from consolidations. Most of the time, prices actually consolidate most of the time, and let's say maybe 60% or 70% of the time you find that prices are just consolidating, okay? And then 40 or 30% of the time you find that that's when they are really moving. So guys, for this one, you need days when they are really moving, okay? I'll show you that when you go to the charts, okay? So you need a direction. In other words, you need a day that showed that it really went, okay? We are following the trend, because guys, once they start going, they can trend for maybe 3 weeks straight without even reversing. That's possible, okay? Because if you read Larry Williams' book, he actually described this using Newton's law of motion. Once an object starts moving in a direction, it will continue to that direction until an equal opposite force is applied. So even prices move like that. It's just that mostly if you are less experienced, you think like they go up, they go down, and you end up getting in and getting out, getting in and getting out. But most of the time, if you just take your execution and close your charts, come back later, you will realize that, oh yes, there was just a lot of noise, but at the end of the day, it's Newton's law of motion. Once an object starts in a direction, it will continue into that direction until an equal opposite force is applied to it. So even prices will behave in that way. Mostly they will go, like for example, I'll come to the charts again. I don't want to over explain, okay? So step two, the previous day's lower high needs to be violated. This is very important, okay? I'll show you this. Step three, we need a pullback at a crucial level. This is highly important, okay? We need a pullback at a crucial level. And then the last step, which is step four, we need a pattern on a 1, 5 minute or 15 minute, okay? I should have written 15 minutes here. You need a pattern at least on a 1 minute, 5 minute or a 15 minute, okay? Very important, okay? So everything for me is based on evidence. I just shared what evidence is. So everything for me is based on evidence. I don't just want to take everything I find, okay? So guys, if you don't get evidence, at least get a W and let it go and come back. And here they must give you the biggest evidence, and evidence is the biggest candle, okay? Or else get an M, but let it go. Be willing to let it go, okay? Don't be emotional about it. When they come back and give you something big here, you're gonna take it, okay? Sometimes what they can give you is this combination of candles. Sometimes they give you something like this, a big candle going down, and then they give you a doji, and then they give you a big candle going up, okay? Or else they give you a big candle going up, and then again they give you something like this, and then they give you another big one going down. You know that this is powerful. This is a very powerful candlestick pattern. This is a very powerful candlestick pattern, okay? So these are the things that you need. Now we're gonna go to the charts, okay? Some days they will fail, some days they will not fail. That's something you need to know. If we look at Ethereum, one thing you'll realize, I spoke about Ethereum yesterday. What happened with Ethereum? Okay, I told you, we need a day that is trending. So you need a direction. If you look at this day, starting from here, if you look at this day, one thing you're going to realize is that this day gave us a direction, okay? Because this day, which one? Okay, this day gave us a direction, And we say step 2, the previous day's low or high needs to be violated. High if it's going up and low if it's going down. Okay, that's highly important. So yesterday, what happened? Yesterday they violated from here. They violated this level here. I'm not going to explain this because I spoke about it yesterday. So today, what do we want? We want them to actually pull back to a key level. So you can see, yes, they did pull back to a key level, and we take the way down. Please look at yesterday's video. That is in the description. Okay, I will leave it in the comment. Actually, look at it. I explained everything in deep. Now the video is 40 minutes, so I'm not gonna be explaining all these things. So guys, you can see, once they come and bounce on a key level, what do we want? We want them move on the way down, because we are following the direction of this one. Yes, of course they can come and pull back and do this and actually close here. Okay, they can do something like this, but the most important thing in this case is that they did break down here. Okay, so if we look at this one, silver, yes, it gave a direction yesterday. Okay, it gave a direction yesterday, gave a direction, beautiful direction, and then yes, they pulled down, but there was nothing you could get much. But they came down, they broke out, came down again, and they continued. I actually shared this yesterday, so today I'm not gonna go much deeper into it. Okay, so if you look at this one, gave us direction. Okay, it violated the previous day's low here. This one gave us direction. It's Bitcoin, right? It violated this day's low actually here. Okay, and I told you yesterday this was the entry, and I actually shared it with you. So what happened today? Yes, yesterday they broke the low here, and what did they do? They came, retested to the closing price. You can see, retested to the closing price, and then they collapsed. If you look at the distance from the closing price to the collapse, it was over 200 points, you see. And however, it actually went a 500 and something points. So guys, you look for an entry on a smaller time frame. Okay, and one thing with crypto, guys, somebody asked me about the times. When you look at crypto, it can move anytime, any given time they can move. Okay, I told you, pay attention to what happens to the recent high, and also again pay attention to what actually happens to the closing price. So if you look here, they came and stop hunted everybody from early. Same behavior they did yesterday. Same behavior they did yesterday. Okay, I shared this yesterday that okay, this was the recent swing. Okay, I told you this is a key level because that's where we got support. Yes, support as they were going down. But you see, they came and stop hunted everybody, and that's when they collapsed. The first point to take your profit is here, and then you can hold till the close. Okay, even today they did the very same thing. If you go to a 1 minute time frame, you'll see a beautiful pattern here. I explained these things, guys. I explained these things to all of you yesterday. Okay, I did explain these things. You see, I did explain. So this was the pattern. Okay, this was the pattern. It was a triangle. They broke out of it, and they came back, retested, and left with a big candle. You see, this is a beautiful entry because here we don't have an evidence candle. And then from here, guys, I told you the first point to take your profit is the low. Okay, I told you open to position, one take at the low and one you can hold till the close. So this one was what, 194. Imagine taking 194, and guys, if it went actually another 300, you can't let this come back on you. Okay, you definitely can't let this come back on you. So this went 500. You want to tell me that if you took this one, you allowed it to go 530 and then come back on you? That is careless management. Okay, that is probably careless management. Yes, they came back, but guys, honestly, yes, I talk about holding till the close, which is good. But if you took your profit here and actually they ended up going 500 and something, and you allowed them to come back to zero, guys, that is actually careless management. Okay, that is careless management, very careless management. But at the end of the day, if you allowed that, then you exited right at the closing with 50, but already your first target has taken 200. So these are the things I shared with you in yesterday's video. And guys, we are following these rules over here. Step 1, direction, and these 2 steps are for the day. Okay, the day we analyze today for tomorrow. So these ones are for the previous day. Okay, but these 2 are mostly for the following day. Okay, these are for the day we want to execute on. So you just come and follow these rules. Okay, the video is too long, that's why, guys, I'm also tired. Speaking for almost an hour is tiring, but you can see same thing. you can see this one again. I spoke about this kind of behavior yesterday, okay, where they actually, because here they really came to, yes, if you got something here, then it's quite good, okay, because this was 40 something, but you can see they went up and they came all the way down, okay, and they went back again. So obviously guys, if you come to a smaller time frame, there's a beautiful opportunity, okay, there's a beautiful opportunity. You can see they pin, they make this low here, and then you see they come here, and this is the first engulfing candle, okay, and then they retest, and then here's another engulfing candle. So I told you, literally you need a W. That's what I said, right? And W's come in various forms. In the playbook I gave you different kind of patterns, okay, even patterns that you hardly see anywhere. You see, this is a W, they retested, and you see exactly what I told you. They retested and they went back with a huge engulfing candle. If I'm to zoom this, you will see that it's the same thing. W, this is a ascending W. There are different kinds of W, okay. If you don't want to master these things, you're gonna be surprised for most of the time, because it's not every time when they will give you something super perfect as you anticipated. Most of the time they will give you something like this, but the most important thing here is they broke here and they came back. What did I say? At least get something like this and they should come back, okay, they should come back. Sorry, this line is not straight. They should come back, okay. Get a W, let them go, and when they come back you need a beautiful candle here if you didn't get the pattern. So there is a W like this, okay, and again there is a W like this, okay. So we have different forms of W. It's just that I'm not going deeper. Like yesterday I focused more on this one and I didn't talk about the second the explosive one, because guys, I honestly can't be sharing all these things with you at the same time. You see, it went up again. You take your first here on this high, and then if you hold till the close again, you took here. If you managed it well, you were able to get out with about 100 and something, okay, 100 and something, because this is your execution. But you find people trying to execute on this candle. Guys, be patient, let it go. Give you a W, then let it go. Oh, this is important. Let me share about this, because some people are not good in taking W's and M's, okay, M's and W's, and this also happens to gold a lot. Guys, please pay close attention to what I'm sharing with you right now. If you get a W, okay, at a level, okay, at a key level, be patient, don't execute here, and again don't execute here, okay. Let me use red for you to understand. You don't execute here and you don't execute here. You don't want to be guessing, okay. You want to let it go, let it go, and then you can draw a line here. This is the last high that was made. At this point you are not sure about anything. They can still come down, okay, but you really want to be sure. So how do you become sure? When they come and bounce here and give you a big candle reversing to the upside here, now you know, because all the criteria have been met. Now you know these guys are really leaving, okay. They came to say goodbye, but most of you are impatient. Guys, remember, you're using a 1, 5 or 15 minutes. These are smaller time frames, and guys, if this is happening on a currency, this is going to give you a very small stop. If it's happening on crypto, it's going to give you a fair stop. If it's a metal, again, it's going to give you a fair stop, okay. So these are the things you need to know. If we already spoke about Bitcoin, because you see, that's what they gave, and that's what they gave. They came to the closing price. And again, guys, did I show you the entry? Yes, I showed you the entry, if I'm not mistaken, on a smaller time frame, okay. And you got this here, and again, yes, you were able to get 500 from it, okay. So if we come to this one, let's see, did this one qualify? Yesterday I told you I didn't take this one because it didn't qualify. On this day they didn't break any low, okay. And part of our rules actually say the previous day's high or low must be violated. This is where people, you tend to skip laws or rules or steps. These steps are not just put here, they are tested. I didn't just put these steps here, they are tested, okay. Sometimes you might ignore them, it works, but most of the time it will actually catch you. So you see, even here they started by going down, then they came back and bounced on the closing price, and then boom, you got the move back down. You got the move back down, 50 something, okay. You got the move back down, okay. And then of course, if we are to talk about Ripple again, same thing every day. I told you, analyze on a hourly time frame, right? Yes. And you can see Ripple, they violated here, they went down, they came. I told you yesterday, I showed you this opportunity. I'm not going to repeat myself, okay. So they did violate this low yesterday, right? So this move is still down. This move is still down. What do you anticipate? On this day, I told you, you wait for a pullback to a key level, and I told you about the key levels. The key level can be this. If they pass, you pay attention to this. I say this, guys, this is the recent high, not just the recent high, but again the closing price of the day before yesterday. I spoke about these things, okay? They came here, and then what did they do? They gave a beautiful opportunity for a collapse to almost 100 and something, and then again they went almost 400. So if you allowed them to go 360 and come back for you guys, I don't know what you are actually waiting for, okay? Yes, you need to learn to manage. You need to learn to hold till the day, but you also need to learn to manage it, because it's not every day when it's going to close low, okay? You need to learn to manage, okay? And if we are to look at gold, because I believe most people are confused by gold. Yes, I spoke about the opportunity I took yesterday, but there's something about gold. Let's go back to our rules. Direction, okay? Did we get the direction? Yes, it went down, okay? I know it's fine. Let's pay close attention to this. Previous day's low or high violated. Let's go back to gold. Seems like this is the previous day's low, okay? So guys, yes, I was expecting them to come and lock it here, but guys, they're not always going to do what you expect them to do, okay? As I said yesterday, okay? So what did they do today? I told you yesterday I took profit here because obviously this move had gone a lot, okay? So what did they do today? They never yesterday violated this. So guys, obviously you can't go in line with this because there is no trend in this case. For us to have a trend, they need to violate this level, because they made a low. They never made a lower low. So how do you go down if they never made a lower low? Remember guys, okay, let's look at the most important things here, okay? And this is the last one because it's almost an hour, okay? Look at this here. They come down, they pull back, they come down, they pull back. What is this? It's a downtrend. Why? Because every time they make a lower low, they break it. Every time they make a lower low, they break it. So in this case, if they come and do something like this, this part here is not a downtrend, okay? It's not a downtrend. They can go up from here. Why? Because they never violated this low. So guys, for you to actually take this, we have this rule, step 2. So when we look at gold today, step 2 was never met. So you'll find somebody trying to sell. Step 2 was never met. Rather, this thing is making higher highs. It's making higher highs, okay? Higher highs. And then they break with a big candle. For us, we are expecting a big candle to the downside, but they're giving us a big candle to the upside. Obviously, this is a buying opportunity. This is a buying opportunity, okay? So this for you has changed everything for Monday, okay? Yes, this has changed everything for Monday. It can continue up. At this point here, they broke the high, so we have a direction to the high, okay? So when we come on a Monday, we'll see if they really perform very well, okay? So guys, this is what I have for today. Okay, GJ, I took GJ today and I spoke about it yesterday. If you look at GJ, I took it, yes, I took it today. Okay, I took it today. Okay, I took it today. I took GJ today early, okay? If you look at GJ, they gave us a perfect direction. They violated this level here and everything was perfect. And I actually yesterday did tell you about them possibly coming to this level over here. Yes, I did I told you about them possibly coming to this level over here because this is the high of the previous day, okay? So yes, they did come to this level and I took it. Let's go to a smaller time frame. I took it. Yes, I took profit, but I had to close because they didn't give me what I wanted. And this is the beauty of this industry. Sometimes you don't get exactly what you want, okay? Sometimes you know what you're expecting, but it's not every time when you're gonna get it. So for me, I had a pattern here. They gave me this beautiful pattern over here, okay? So you can see, okay, I took this pattern twice. Okay, I took it, no, there was no evidence candle here, okay? I took this part in here, and even when they were going up, because with currencies you'll see you take it, you have very small stops, okay? So if you want to put your 25, it's somewhere here, okay? And then as they were going up, I actually entered another position twice, okay? So look at this. This is where they give all eyes on me, okay? I've been sharing that for quite some time. So this one I closed it somewhere here at roughly 40. Yes, I took it at 40. Yes, so when I came and it was late, I realized that they're not even doing anything of what I actually was expecting. So I took it at 40. So guys, some days you'll take something, it will not go. This is something that happens, but this was a very perfect setup for an upward move. But guys, they can do this. These are prices, they'll do what they want. Okay, we can only control our entries and our exits and our patience and sticking to our plan. But sometimes they will not go. Okay, so that's something you need to know. Sometimes they will close you. You did nothing wrong, you did everything right actually. Okay, so 40 is nothing small, 40 is still something big. Okay, and then AJ, I was expecting something similar today. Okay, I was expecting something similar because they gave us a huge direction to the upside, and they actually came to this high that they actually violated, and I say they might do this. So probably this might continue Monday. Okay, but we will see what happens because this ruins everything for us. So preferably I would want something that builds up from the scratch, because this has violated a lot of things. I thought this day just was a pause. Okay, so yeah, this is all I have for today, guys. I really appreciate you. Have a beautiful and a blessed day. For the person who asked about indicators, I'll make a video dedicated to indicators. I really love you guys. Please master what's on the playbook. That is important. Okay, master these things, master the trends, very important. Master these playbooks. Okay, this one is two strategies for currencies, this one is for indices, and it has different kinds of trends in it. Okay, so just make sure you master these trends. These trends are different strategies, so this book has a lot of strategies in itself. Go and backtest. I have backtesting tools in my description which are free. Just put in the work, guys. I really love you all. Thank you.